I honestly, last night when I saw it originally, thought about commenting and be like, you're a dumb bitch. Hello, and welcome to Our 3 Cents. The best podcast that ever has podcasted.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Laura.
I'm Molly.
I am the one called Bailey.
And we're happy that you're all here, and we're happy to be with you, and we're happy it's Tuesday, and we're sad it's raining. And, well, it's raining for me and Bailey.
Yeah, it's been
I don't know about
too.
Molly. I think it's raining in all of the continental U.S.
The world
right now.
No.
Mm-hmm. I did think I
Um,
saw where, like, it's literally raining everywhere except maybe, like, the middle of America it's not raining, but everywhere else it's raining.
So we got we got a parted curtain going on.
It snowed in Las Vegas today, and I'm sick of people
Really?
thinking that global warming doesn't exist. It snowed in the desert.
What do they think
Like,
is
full
going on
on.
with the weather? Like, they think the weather's just, like, being weird for no reason?
I heard again today, we've gotten so much rain this year, and, like, it was, like, leading into, like, the innuendo of, like, is that the right
Innuendo?
word? Is that the right word?
Well, that's usually what people.
It doesn't have to be sexual.
It doesn't have to be, but say the rest of your words and we'll
like,
decide.
leading into the fact of, or, like, the
Uh-huh.
opinion that we've gotten so much rain, or it's been so cold that global warming can't exist.
Yeah,
And it's like, that's not,
weather's not climate.
Got it.
My thing with like, because we're talking about global warming now,
All of a sudden.
it's just like, okay,
Didn't mean to. Not a topic today.
not our planned topic.
If it goes well, it could be a topic for later discussion.
It's just like, I don't get, okay, let's say you're right. Scientists are wrong. The world is not heating up more on average. All of this is just weird stuff going on. There's no global warming. Why does it hurt us to, like, be more environmental?
Proactive about it?
Yeah, like, why does it hurt us to use less oil that's going to run out and move to, like, solar and wind energy? Like, why does any of this hurt us?
I watched a movie.
Even if there's no global warming.
a very strange movie.
Mhm. Like fiction, a documentary?
Yeah, fiction.
Uh-huh.
It was like, it's called Downsizing.
Oh yeah, with Matt Damon?
With Matt Damon,
Uh-huh.
Will Arnett, Kristen Wiig.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple other people that they just kept popping up and I was like, you're a very good actor. Why are you in this movie?
Uh-huh.
You make good movies and have won awards. Why are you in this movie? Because
So I'm sensing this was not a good movie?
well, we watched the trailer and I was
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
this looks like a movie you watch if you like have literally nothing else to do and might be
Uh-huh.
a little high.
Uh-huh.
And so we put it off for weeks, and then the other day Sam was like, okay, I'm bored. Can we just watch this movie? I don't want to have to find anything else. I was like, yeah, sure, fine.
Mhm.
And it was it was strange. Like, the premise was because of global warming and climate change and, like, the human
I thought it was like
species,
overpopulation. Like,
yeah,
there are too many. Mhm.
like, because of overpopulation and
Mhm.
all this, we don't have enough resources to
Mhm.
support the amount of people, so people are going
Yeah.
small
Mm-hmm.
and literally shrinking themselves down
Mm-hmm.
and being able to live a better life small
Mm-hmm.
and have all these resources, blah, blah, blah.
Ooh.
And it's this whole talk of, like,
Sorry. It did not recoup its budget at the box office.
it did not. It should not have.
Uh-huh.
But it was like the end of it, spoiler alert. What, do you care?
No, I'm not going to watch
Do
it.
you care?
No.
Like, the end of it is that the world is ending,
Mm-hmm.
and the man who created the technology to downsize people
Mm-hmm.
now knows that there's, like, direct evidence that the world will end,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's, like, created this bunker where he and a bunch of other small people can live for 2,000 years, and they have all of these
Mm-hmm.
things, and it's great.
Mm-hmm. So, like, that's why he was shrinking people, not because of overpopulation?
Well, he was shrinking people because of the lack of resources,
Okay.
and it was like hoping that a lot of people would do it,
Mhm.
and they would take care of the problem,
Mhm.
but then they didn't do it,
Mhm.
and it was like semi-political sometimes, and, like, very not vaguely were like, yeah, but, like, should small people have the right to vote? And it was like...
Like, you're being too on the nose here.
Literally, that was like a line. This guy was like, in a bar, was like, you're the two that want to downsize, right? Well, how do you feel about you people having the right to vote? Don't you think that you should only have, like, a fourth of a right because you're only using this many, like, resources and you're hurting our economy and all this? And I was like, wow. I was like, I just thought this was going to be a whole... And it was also very racially motivated. Like, one of the main characters is a Vietnamese or Taiwanese woman. And she's... I'm gonna fact check this as you're going. I'm pretty sure she's an American actress, but, like, she had the very stereotypical,
like, Asian
like, you only say a couple words, like when you go to a nail salon or something, and it's very stereotypical. But she said every word she said perfectly, but she would say them broken, and it was just like.
That's weird.
You're not even...
So it's like they wrote it stereotypically, even though she's not...
They, like, gave her a character. Yeah. They were like, act like you can't speak English, but then gave her very, like, fluffy words to say.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. She is Vietnamese. Her parents are Vietnamese. But she was born in America.
So just, like, I get it. She needed to be...
Or, well, she might have been born in Vietnam, but she, like, grew up here.
She needed to be from a different country in the movie for her story to make sense. But, like, having her speak like that, it was like, it lost so much. And at the end, they were having this feel-good moment. And he's, like, considering going away for 2,000 years and leaving her. Oh, they're in love. Her and Matt Damon. She only has one leg. There's, like, a lot of things that are just like, why did this all happen? And they had sex the night before he was gonna leave. And in this, like, very sentimental, like, serious music is playing, everything, she walks up and says, what kind of fuck you give me?
What?
Like, yeah. And says, and it's, like, still sentimental, and you're like, not sentimental to me anymore. That? And then says that in America there's only 7 types of fuck. And then goes to explain, like, there's pity fuck, there's love fuck, there's just to have sex fuck, and then, like, says this, and, like, they're essentially saying that she only knows the word fuck for, like, make love, but then says make love and says have sex, and it's like,
what the heck?
Didn't need to say what kind of fuck you give me.
Gosh.
And it was just like...
I've gone down the rabbit hole because the man who wrote this movie was married to Sandra Oh for 3 years.
Oh. He didn't do a good job.
No.
It has such potential to be a very good movie. Like, it's a neat basis, but it was just whatever. And that's my thoughts about climate change.
He wrote Jurassic Park 3. Those are good thoughts.
He wrote Jurassic Park 3? What happened, man?
Is this the Disney film, The Descendants?
You got too cocky.
No, okay. Yeah. Well, that's probably the least well received of the Jurassic Parks.
How much did it make?
It made...
It was still a good movie.
Its box office was $55 million, but its budget was $68 to $76 million.
That's honestly not as big as a gap as I thought it was going to be.
Its Rotten Tomatoes score was like 49, I think.
I looked it up because I needed to see something. Because they said something or didn't explain.
See if anyone else talked about how kind of racist the movie is. Oh,
that's what it was. It was... In the movie, there was a baby born in the first small people colony. And it was the first baby born...
The first small baby.
As a small person. And it was born, and it was fine, it was great.
What if it had been
a big
regular
baby
size?
Yeah. Because they said that it was cellular, at a cellular level, you changed.
Okay. So, like, it changes your DNA?
No, okay, then there was another word, and he was like, no, that's not DNA.
Oh.
And... So we were discussing that. But, so this baby was born, and then Matt Damon meets this grown-up baby now at a party, and offhandedly another character goes, he's also going to be the first, it was like, he's going to be the first small baby with syphilis because he has sex so much. And, like, it was kind of offhandedly, but it was like, you knew you were supposed to listen to it. The last fucking scene that this kid is in, he has a giant cold sore on his upper lip, and, like, it's glistening. So it was like...
That's not syphilis, by the way.
It's not. But it's like... but it is a form of herpes.
I was going to say,
but it's
that's
not
herpes.
sexually
Michael
transmitted.
Scott had it.
And you normally.
What kind of movie is
and
this?
So it was like, he had this giant thing on his face, and I was like, is that syphilis? Is this what they think it means? So I looked it up, and there's like forums of people talking about if that's what it means, and like somebody somewhere fact checked it, and they were like, yeah, he's supposed to have syphilis, and I was like, not syphilis, not a sexually transmitted disease, not talked about. Gosh. Like, no reference, just a close up on his face with a giant cold sore.
Was this like supposed to be like a comedy or like satire or something?
It was like a dramedy, like serious messaging, but funny parts, but they did not do it well.
Yeah.
And
so, help stop global warming, or we'll all end up in a poorly written Matt Damon film. Is what you're saying. So what? I don't get what the twist was. Like, the twist is that the world is really gonna end.
The only conflict
wasn't that like
the only conflict was like, yeah, that the world was actually ending, and whether or not Matt Damon, because like, so Matt Damon goes off to live in this 2,000-year long place, and then halfway down a corridor decides, I don't want to leave her, runs back. That's the end of the conflict, because as he jumps out, she says, why are you back? And he says, so he runs back out, and another guy says that every hundreds of years, people think that the world's going to end, and it probably won't end for another 100 years. Okay. You can never tell, blah, blah, blah. And then they go back and live a nice life. And that's it. And there really was no conflict. Like, they didn't get stepped on by a big ant. Or they didn't talk about...
Were they smaller than ants?
They were like 4.5 inches. So not smaller than ants. Okay. But, like, still, they could have run into a dog.
Y'all remember George Shrinks?
Right.
That was a good show.
They could have... They're better movies. I could have written a better movie.
I believe you.
So.
I saw Into the Spider-Verse. That was
Me too!
Oh, really? Like, when?
I saw it on Saturday.
Oh, nice. I just saw it yesterday. Yeah, because they were out of school. Nice. It was really good.
It was really good.
It's been out since like late November.
It's been out for a long time.
I was surprised it was still in theaters for us to go.
Same.
It wasn't in both of our local ones. It was in the South Haven one, not Olive Branch. But
Olive Branch has funnel cake fries.
It's really good. But yeah, because it's coming out on digital like next week.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see it, and we were at a mall that had a theater, so I looked it up really quick, and it was there.
I wanted to see it.
It only had like 2 showtimes.
Yeah, same.
Okay. We're talking about movies. Before that, we were talking about global warming. Was there something important we were talking about before we got on global warming? Oh, no, because we were just talking about it raining. Okay. Well, then do we want to...
Any updates for anybody while we're just giving updates about our lives? For everybody else. Bailey had to clean up some dog piss today.
I did! He peed right in front of us. He just, like, squatted down and did it.
My bosses aren't at work, so that's fun for me. Molly, anything you're feeling?
Yeah, Molly, you said you went to the movies on Saturday. Did anything happen?
Luna is being very
Anything
annoying.
happen, like, Friday before Saturday?
Or maybe happening tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that didn't click with me, because yesterday didn't feel like a day to me. Yeah, okay.
Yes, I do have really big news.
Molly's downsizing! God, she's going to live in a colony with Matt Damon!
I got a new job offer. Woo! And I accepted it, and by the time this podcast comes out, I will have put in my 2 weeks notice at my current job. It's very nerve-wracking, but it is for the best. I have to keep telling myself that.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much do you want to talk about on the podcast?
It is for the best.
Not too much, because, like, I don't want to, like...
Just, like, right now you know you're putting in your 2 weeks notice, but by the time this comes out, so, like...
Yeah, I am scared to put in my 2 weeks notice, because my boss has been really nice to me this week, and...
Maybe he knows.
I know. I for a second, like, kind of thought he knew because he'd been kind of, like, avoiding me. Even though it's the beginning of the week. Like, he just hasn't really been talking to me that much. I was like, maybe he knows. But I don't think so. The way he was talking to me in our meeting today, like, he has... I don't think he has...
It's like the first time it's been nice.
Huh?
It's like the first time he's been nice in a meeting.
Yeah. Well, he was like...
Molly, you're going to be around here for a long, long time.
Well, that's what he was doing. He kept, like, talking about, like, the upcoming months and was, like, giving me tips on how to be, like, a better manager and whatnot. And I felt really guilty.
Know, honey. He doesn't know.
And, like, I'd been, like, kind of excited. I'd been excited. Like, I was ready to do it. Because I'm pumped about this new job, but then, like, after today, I just got, like, I just felt so guilty about it, and
yeah,
I have to keep reminding myself, though, that, like, this is for the best. It's a better offer. It's hopefully just a better job overall. Not that I don't enjoy my job that I'm at now. It's just, it's definitely time for me to go, I think.
And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody has to have a time of progression, and you can't get stagnant at a job that, like, you don't see. Not that you don't see it going anywhere, but, like, there's only so far up you can go, and there's only so much it can do for your career.
Yeah,
and you have to do what's best for you, and, like, you have to look at it like somebody's going to be hired for your position within the next 2 weeks, and it's not really going to be that difficult. And your boss might like you and your coworkers might like you and you might have liked what the work you were doing was, and none of that has to stop.
Yeah.
You don't have to not ever talk to your coworkers again or your boss, and you can still do the same type of work in this new job.
Yeah.
But that job did not define you, and you were not, like...
Yeah. People leave jobs all the time.
I know.
Most people don't have just one job forever, so...
Exactly. So, yeah, I realized that, and it's never been a job that I was supposed to stay at for a long time. Like, my boss has, like, talked about that with me. He's like, I know you're not going to be here forever. And
well, then don't be surprised when I'm not.
Exactly. It'll be an interesting conversation tomorrow. I'm very interested to see how he reacts to my leaving, because I really don't think he sees it coming.
Are you talking to him as well?
I mean,
because
I'm not just going to be like, here's my notice, see you Monday.
Okay.
No, I figure I'm just going to, like, go into his office, like, be like, hey, do you have a second? And I texted my manager who quit a few months ago, and I asked her...
How many people have quit?
Well, I've been working there, just...
Or been fired.
Okay. There have been two people have left since I started working there. And the two people that left were hired around the same time I was.
Mm-hmm. And this isn't a, like, big company to begin with. Yeah. So that's, like, a large percentage of people you knew and worked with.
Exactly. And that's kind of why I feel guilty, is that, like, I'll be leaving around a very, like, busy time in the office. And my job takes up a good bit of it. And it's not like nobody can't, like, we have part-timers. It's not like they can't do it while they're, like, trying to find a replacement. But it will be a hassle because we're already short-staffed. And that, I mean, that's not my fault, so I shouldn't feel guilty for that. And there is never going to be a good time to quit, like...
Right.
I mean, it just happened, but yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes, just because I think my boss sees me as, like, a very reliable person, and I think he thinks he'd be able to see it coming if I was going to leave, and that's why I think it's going to be such a shock to him, is that he probably thinks he has me, like, in his back pocket, safe and secure, when I'm not.
Have you done any, like, prep work for...
Explain.
Like,
Like, for his different reactions?
Yeah. Like...
Let's do it now!
Like, are you prepared to cry?
Are you prepared for him to cry?
Are you prepared to not cry?
I am prepared to not cry. I do not want to cry.
Okay,
but are you prepared?
But are you not going to?
I don't think so. I've like sat in his office the past couple of days, knowing that I'm going to be putting in my 2 weeks, and I haven't felt sad about it. Like, I haven't, like...
What if he gets really mad? I'm just imagining me doing it.
What if he yells?
If he gets mad, I'm going to be offended. Like, he should not treat me that way. Like, when I texted my manager, she said he should be happy for you and this new opportunity. She's like, it will be an adjustment for him because you are such an important part, but he should not get mad at you. Because I told her, I was like, my biggest fear is that he, like, yells or gets mad at me.
What if he cries? I haven't addressed that. What if he cries? What if he cries? What if you yell and he cries?
What a twist.
Don't yell.
Yeah, don't yell.
But I've basically gone through every worst case scenario, so if he does anything good, then it will already exceed my expectations. Because I am just terrified he's going to get so mad at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one that I could see him getting, like, defensive, like...
Like, why would you want to leave here?
Why do you want to leave? We just had all this. We did this. I need you. You're the only one that can do this. What about Tia? What about this?
Yeah, I'm worried he's going to, like... I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say if he asks me, like, why I'm leaving. I'm, like, worried he's going to somehow, like, humiliate me, make me feel dumb for the decision that I've made.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worried, like, if I'm like,
dumb.
oh, this job is offering me more money and benefits and, like, all that stuff, he's going to be like, well, why didn't you ask me for all that, da-da-da-da-da, which he can't offer me full benefits or a 401k. But,
Be like, I know you can't.
I just, like, never asked for a raise, so I feel like me being like, oh, I need more money, he'd come back with, like, well, why didn't you ask me? And, like, I don't want it to get mean, so I don't want to say, like, anything rude to him.
Yeah.
So, I hope he doesn't, like, try to, like, ask me too much as to why I'm leaving. I hope he just leaves it at, like, oh, I got this really good job opportunity, like, I can't turn it down.
I think you might want to try to find a candidate, like how you kind of find answers to interview questions before you go. You should have, like, a generic kind of thought of what you would say, because that does seem like a pretty easy question for him to ask.
Well, I mean, I would say...
Like, of his responses, oh, why are you leaving, or why do you want to leave, seems like it would be, like, one of the first things he would say.
Well, if he asked me...
And you really don't have to tell him that.
Yeah.
Well, if he asked me why I'm leaving...
You don't have to give him a real answer.
I'll just say... it's the job. Like, I'll be getting paid more. I will be getting full benefits, a 401k. He could offer me more money, but he can't offer me benefits and a 401k. So it makes sense for me to take this job just based off of that.
Yeah.
And aren't you excited about, like, what you're doing at this job?
Yeah, it's similar to what I do at my job now, so...
Okay. I thought it was maybe different enough in a way you could be like, I'm excited about this.
It's more businessy. Like, I'll be... like, I have to dress business casual and stuff. So it'll definitely be a different environment, which I'm excited about. I've never been, like, in a legit company before.
Same. Oh, that's...
With, like, a handbook and guidelines and things like that. Like, my boss is very casual about, like, stuff, so.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I have not heard one person tell me not to take the job. I'm just a very indecisive person. Like, I have to ask everybody for their opinions on things.
Well, if everyone agreed, it seems like this is right.
Yeah, everybody did agree. Nobody said not to take the job. The only person that, like, somewhat questioned it was Grace. She just said, like, after I said something about, like, putting in my 2 weeks notice, she's like, what, you're taking the job? I was like, I was planning on it, yes.
I think you're very prepared. thinking about it from my standpoint is terrifying. But I think you are very prepared, and I'm excited for your new job, and I'm glad you took it. And I think it's going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I just hope everything goes smoothly tomorrow. I'm just ready to get it over with. Like, I wanted to do it today. I was like, let me, because like I just felt so guilty. I was like, I want him to know now that I'm not going to be here in May.
Do you want to tell the listeners why you're waiting until tomorrow?
Because I'm going home for the rest of the week after tomorrow. It's a smart strategy. Like,
yeah, that's a smart plan.
So is that part of your 2 weeks?
Well, my last day will be the 9th, which is a Friday. It'll be 2 weeks from Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have counted, or how that would have worked, because I'd already, like, planned on taking those days off before.
You can't leave.
But...
No, that's 2 full weeks. The week of the 25th, and then the week of the 4th, and then you're done.
I will be out next Friday, though, but it's for work.
Okay.
It's for work.
Okay, good. I'm excited.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel bad. I keep saying that, but I do.
Well, let's move on to something more exciting.
Yes.
That you don't have to. Some people may feel bad about it. Some people might have it as a guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Reality television. It has its supporters.
Mm-hmm.
It has its naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
It has people that hate it. It has people that say that it ruined television and it ruined entertainment, and that people who are reality stars aren't really famous and they've not done anything to become famous. There's a whole bunch of opinions around reality television, and we thought we'd talk about it today.
Mm-hmm. Looking at me?
Yep.
Trying to make sure the next statement is true. I don't like any reality television unless it airs on Food Network or HGTV.
Yeah, I don't believe that. That's a bit broad statement.
I think it's true, though, because I have in the past watched The Voice. When it first came out, I watched it a little bit. Same with America's Got Talent, watched it a little bit.
And like American Idol?
I never got into American Idol. I don't watch those two anymore. And then the Sing Off, the a cappella competition show, y'all remember that?
I do not.
I watched that for a little bit when it started. I don't think that comes on anymore. I don't think there are any other reality shows I watch, because I don't watch any like physical ones like American Ninja Warrior. Yeah. I don't really watch it. I used to like game shows, but I don't really watch any anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch any of the, like, I don't watch Ellen's or The Wall or like any of those that come on like at night.
Mm-hmm.
Don't watch The Bachelor or any other like romance shows. Are there any other like big reality TV segments I'm missing?
Like just people's lives, I guess, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and.
Oh, no.
Like Chrisley Knows Best.
Don't watch those.
Do you watch any of the TLC ones, like Little People, Big World, or...
I have, like, when they've had marathons on, watched Say Yes to the Dress.
Like any of the TLC, TLC shows.
Not, like, regularly. I don't seek it out.
My Weird Addiction.
No.
My 300-Pound Life.
No.
Okay.
So I think if it's not an HGTV show and it's not a cooking competition on the Food Network or Netflix, because that's where I get my Great British Baking Show and Nailed It. I don't really watch any reality shows.
Thinking about all the ones that we just said, I really don't watch many either. Like, I do love reality television. Like, it's like one of those things. Like, if I'm sitting somewhere, like when I used to have free
time,
free time, but like TV and like shows or channels like E or HGTV or TLC, and a reality show would come on. Like if Keeping Up with the Kardashians came on, I would watch the shit out of that. Like,
oh, have you ever watched any of the Real Housewives? Did you like any of that?
I want to like those. I never watched those. But like I really do enjoy investing in people on TV's lives. because it's real life, in quotes. Like, I love imagining these people really live, like, the way they say they live. So, like, kind of. But I don't actually, like, keep up with the Kardashians. Or, like...
What about, like, any MTV shows? Like, because don't they have more, like...
They used to.
They
had, like, dating shows.
Cribs? Am I thinking of Cribs? Like, Come See My House?
Used to love Cribs.
Oh, and, like, 16 and Pregnant, or any of those?
Ooh, girl.
Didn't you watch those?
The first season, the OGs. I was, like, all up into their bullshit. And then, it got crazy. And they kind of... It's... Like, there's so many children. And, like, at this point in my life, they're actually children, and it just seems wrong now. Like, when I was a child, it was like, this is so crazy that they're pregnant in my age. Yeah. And now it's like...
You're a child, and you're going to have a child.
And you're going to have a child. And it's, and, like, looking at the people who are, like, around my age, who have children, who have, quote-unquote, successful lives, and I'm just like...
You're my age, and you have children.
Well, but it's like, you've had this child for so long.
Oh, you mean when they had him when they were 16?
Well, yeah, like
now,
the
I
OGs
got you.
that are my age now. It's like, you have had this child and it has grown up and you have lives and are in the public eye and still...
Queer Eye. Sorry, that's reality.
That is reality. That counts.
Yeah. That's its own category.
But yeah, a lot. I don't watch a lot. I would if I had the availability. I think I would watch more.
Yeah.
But it's not even that I like the people on the shows or show.
I think that's what keeps me away from it is, like, I don't want to know what the Kardashians are doing. Like, I feel like any enjoyment I would get from that would just be them doing, like, stupid things.
That's most of what it is, though, I feel like.
Oh, see, I can't stand keeping up with the Kardashians. It's the dumbest show ever.
I have this draw to watch it, and I can't there has to be some word, probably in German somewhere, that...
Oh, like, Schadenfreude? Like, when you enjoy watching people fail?
Oh, I just meant because Germans have, like, the most words ever.
Well, I just meant I think this is about to kind of describe
Sure, I don't know why you know that. But sure. Like, I don't care about their lives in general. I hate on them in my head constantly. Like, right as I was getting on this whole situation, something happened with Kylie and some person, and everybody's going crazy, but it's like, I really don't care to find out the bottom of this. I could easily with a Google search.
But if it was playing out in front of you...
and I feel like it will... I would love to watch it. Like, I like watching things implode, I guess. I think it's like kind of like a train wreck. Like, there has to be drama. It's like still a show. You have to create content. And that's what their lives are. And it's just like, it's so intriguing to me that this is the type of entertainment that we're experiencing now. Like, I literally want to watch people just live their fucking lives. Like, it's so crazy to me. And then, like, other shows... like Queer Eye, or I used to love On the Inn, like Noggin. Yeah, but the Inn,
but
so like
the teen,
where Degrassi was. They had Trading Spaces Teens.
Oh,
and good lord.
I was thinking I've never watched Survivor, but the one that was on like Discovery Kids, that was like Kid Survivors.
Endurance.
Yes.
I love reality television.
And then they had a Trading Spaces Boys versus Girls.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I did like Trading Spaces.
Yeah.
It's I love that show. They went
But now that would air on HGTV, so that falls under my umbrella.
And like, what's it? Move That Bus. Extreme Home Edition? Or with Ty?
Well, yeah, he did the Dream Makeover Home Edition.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, fabulous.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't know what... The bus threw me off.
Move That Bus. That was his catchphrase.
Bless
you.
I love shows like that because it's like so aspirational. And then I used to watch Survivor religiously. I remember one time I got the only time I ever got grounded. I don't even remember.
Yes.
The only time I ever got grounded, I made an 81 on a math test. Not my best subject. And my parents said, I had to do homework. They told me I couldn't even read because I liked reading. So they wouldn't even let me fucking read. And I remember every Thursday. Okay, this was before internet, before readily available internet to me, before streaming services. They said,
was it still in Alabama?
No, we were in Mississippi. They said you can't watch Survivor. I couldn't watch TV. And so that Thursday I couldn't watch TV, and it hit me about Wednesday that I have no other opportunity to watch it. It's not like
you couldn't DVR it. You couldn't watch it online.
TiVo wasn't a thing, and if it was, we didn't have it. There was no such thing as DVR. There was not a provider that I could go to and look at it. It may have been on YouTube, but I really don't think that even YouTube was getting that yet. And so it was just I lost it on Wednesday and begged and cried and pleaded, and they said no. They were like, you were grounded for a week. And I was like, I'm never gonna, I will never
and you
know
still
what
never
happened.
know.
And I think today I still hold a grudge against my parents because I don't know what happened on that episode. But I do remember I sat in my doorway because the whole family was downstairs watching it. And we were in my old house, so there was open stairs going up to my room. So I sat in my doorway and listened. And I was pissed. Because I did not know. But I loved Survivor, and I loved Endurance, and I loved... Oh my god, I love those shows.
Before we, dig any deeper, Molly, what are your current shows and your past faves?
And why do you like or dislike reality TV?
I grew up watching the generic reality TV shows. I watched American Idol. I watched almost any MTV reality show, Cribs or whatever. Welcome to My Crib, whatever it's called.
Do you remember Next?
Parental Control.
That was such a good
show Next. But those that didn't occur to me that those were reality TV. I don't think I really knew what that was when I was watching those shows.
Yeah.
But I kind of watched The Bachelor. My mom liked that show. But as I got older, I was like, this show is stupid. And I just started growing up and realizing that reality TV is stupid, and it was probably keeping up with the Kardashians that made me hate it, because I'm like, these people are literally famous for nothing, and they're making billions off of their...
Well, not nothing.
Well, nothing important.
I feel like
there you go.
I feel like they're the epitome of
reality
TV, and that's when it went wrong. I feel like
I agree,
there would have been something probably, but if we'd stuck to low key Survivor or
what about Amazing Race
HGTV or Amazing Race,
athletic and
things
cooking,
like that, it wouldn't have been
and home decor reality TV. That's fine, but they're literally filming these people's everyday lives. There's nothing special, and then they just create drama for themselves. So, yeah, I thought it was really dumb, and I still think it's really dumb. The only show I watch now that's reality is, cooking shows every now and then, and The Bachelor. And the reason I'm watching The Bachelor is because in the previews, they had a girl speaking an Australian accent, and she didn't really have an Australian accent, and I was like, I have to watch this show.
That's really what got you?
I forgot about that girl.
I thought you were already sold on the show by the time that came out.
No, I was not going to watch it. I never do. I never watched The Bachelor. But when I saw that preview, I was like, this is a great marketing tactic. They have sold me.
I forgot she was on there.
Yeah. I wondered what happened to her.
She got kicked off after the second week or something.
No, she tried.
No, it was the first week.
No, she made it through the first round.
Okay, well, it was the first episode because she was live at the viewing party, and they were talking to her and about her, and they were like, how did that feel when you did that? And she was like, oh, what, blah, blah, blah. And then 30 minutes later, she was gone. And she was
I thought she made it through the first rose ceremony.
She might have made it through the first rose ceremony, but I think there was 2 in the first episode, right?
Oh, I can't remember. She did get kicked off the second rose ceremony, I'm pretty sure, but I thought she made it through the whole episode.
I'll fact check it while you keep going. I think that, personality is why I don't really like reality TV, like the Kardashians or your Todd Chrisley or your USA has some other one with a football player. I can't think of what it is.
Yeah.
Cromartie. Because, like, I don't care about any of them as people.
But, like, a bunch of people do. Like, Ice Cube and his wife had one. Yeah. And, like, there's been a bunch of, like, those type. And, like, that's not what I would choose to watch. But if it was on TV and I could binge it, I would watch it. But I'm not gonna, like, that's not what I'm gonna devote my Hulu time or my Netflix time to.
I've been watching Worst Cooks in America because I found it on Hulu this weekend, and I like that because even if I'm watching, like, stupid people or people being dumb, I'm watching them, like, fail at cooking or, like, having to do this, like, some kind of chat. Like, there's some other element other than just, like, their personality.
How do you feel about even the competition style that everything's fake? Because do you remember, so I didn't, but do you remember 90210? No, that was the show. Beverly, what was it called?
The Hills?
With Lauren?
The Hills?
The Hills. Thank you. The Hills final episode, final scene.
Yeah, wasn't that like it was fake the whole time or something like that?
The final scene is there's like two of the main characters talking, and it was supposed to be reality, and the final scene is them walking away from each other, and two producers or stagehands roll the screen away, and then they're on a lot in LA. And so it was like, or in Hollywood. And so it was like, and then that was the big question of the year, was like, well, was it all fake? Or was it real? Was it fake?
Yeah.
And like, the actors have come out and said, like, most of it was, but then some of it, and in the last season it was this and that, and we all got careers and we had to blah, blah, blah. But it was like, but was it all fake or was it not?
I think... See, but The Hills wasn't a competition show either, was it?
No, it was just the reality of
So that would be like if the Kardashians had been staged the whole time. At least with, say, like, Your Worst Cooks or, not American Ninja Warrior, because you mostly see them compete, like, live. Like, you see their whole competition. But shows like that, they may be faking it for the camera, but at least they're making it up. Like, they're really cooking. Like, they're really coming up with something.
See, I do think, like, just because of my, like, like, Sam thinks that all reality is fake. Like, all reality shows are fake. And so, like, he makes the argument that even in, or he would, I think, that even in, like, Worst Cooks, that they're sabotaging some people.
Oh, on purpose?
On purpose, or they're choosing one dish over the other on purpose. And, like, in Survivor, they're doing the same thing. Less probably in Survivor, but, like, the producers are starting drama behind the scenes, so there's, like, alliances made with certain people who are more dramatic, and then there's, when you go into voting, okay, all of you but 4 vote for this person, and it's like, they only needed the last 4, or the last person to go in was the, like, person on the edge, so you don't know their vote, but they were the last person to go in, just coincidentally. Like, everything just falls into place, and, like, you have things set up that make it suspenseful, and then those things end up happening, and it's like, one show, once, maybe, but every single competition show, every episode, it's like, this crazy thing has to happen for this other crazy thing to happen. Crazy thing happens. No questions asked.
Oh, wait, hang on. Ooh, actually, you were both wrong. Australian Girl made it to week 3.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't think they're all fake so deep.
Yeah.
I think what bothers me the most, which is why I can't do some other reality shows, is just people, like, just hamming it up because they're on camera. Like, all the cheesy, like, lines and stuff they have to say.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at, just when I searched The Bachelor to look up something, it said someone who's on there now was on a Christian reality show. Aren't a lot of people
who...
Hang on, we'll get to that. Aren't a lot of people who are on The Bachelor there to get airtime to launch some other career or to continue to be on like Bachelor in Paradise or to be the next Bachelor.
The Bachelor asks.
There's a saying in the Bachelor franchise, there for the right reasons. And that stemmed from years ago, I know at least seasons ago. A guy was asking if girls were there for the right reasons because women and men had learned that if you make it to a certain stage in The Bachelor and you make a name for yourself, you have a career set for you. You can be
I've heard a lot of people are like Instagram influencers now.
Especially in this new Instagram age, but like when you could go back and you could be sponsored by like Fabletics wasn't around, but like
something like that.
Like a sportswear brand or a makeup brand or a swimsuit brand. Like, if you could go back and talk to these people and say, hey, I got all this airtime and my name has been said this many times, like in search engines or whatever, brands would follow you. And now it's so crazy because of Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and just social media in general that most of the women and men afterwards become content creators and social media influencers and brand ambassadors and all this stuff. And they, like, there's been multiple times when they'll introduce themselves and they'll say, and that's like a big part of the show when they introduce themselves to the Bachelor Bachelorette. Yeah. And they'll say, I quit my job for you. And it's like, in the moment, if you're not used to it, you're like, oh, they quit their job. Oh my God, what are they going to do? Because another big part is when they do like private interviews at the end of every night, it's their name, their age, and their occupation. And in recent seasons...
Did they say quit their job to be here?
Sometimes. And like in recent seasons, it's been happening more and more. And like older seasons, they would do it some, but in recent seasons, it's been happening more and more. They'll put like funny occupations.
I think like, they just put funny.
Oh, no, like funny occupations. Like one guy introduced himself and he came in a chicken suit. So the whole time he was on the show, he was the chicken. And that was his profession. And then there's a girl on this season who had never been kissed, and her name was never been, her occupation was never been kissed until she got kissed, and then it was has been kissed. Yes. And so it was like they'll do that. But, like, most of these people are now going to go out and will not have to get their job back. Right. Or will not have to find another job in the industry they used to be in. Because they have their kind of live set because of the way. But, yeah, so that came about because people were wondering, are you here to find marriage or are you here to be the next contestant? Like, do you want to really find love, or do you want to find a following, like a cult following behind you and your brand? Or do you want to just milk the franchise for what it's worth, go on each season of whatever? Because technically Colton's been on everything that he could have been on.
So within the franchise.
Bachelorette, he's been on Bachelorette, he was in Bachelor in Paradise, and now he's the Bachelor. The only thing, and there's no reason they won't do it, is they usually have, like, there's, like, a thing, like, you can't go a month without seeing some type of the Bachelor franchise. Like, right after this Bachelor stops, in May, end of May, they should start Bachelor in Paradise.
Because it's in the summer.
And then right after that ends, they should start Bachelorette. And then it just keeps going on that loop. Sometime, like, last year, when the Winter Olympics were going on, they had the Bachelor Winter Games.
That's funny.
And so, like, they did cute little competition type stuff. But it was essentially just another Bachelor in Paradise, just in the snow. Yeah. So.
Okay, so I assume we're ready to talk about The Bachelor now.
Yes. I have my notes.
Okay, ground rules. You two have seen this season of The Bachelor.
Can you ask us questions?
Yes, I was going to say, I assume many people are also like me and have not seen it.
Right.
So some people will be like, yes, I know what they're talking about. Yes, I agree. Or no, I don't. But I'm sure a lot of people won't either. So, okay, so hang on. Recap us. I've never seen The Bachelor. Molly, this is your first season?
Yeah.
Or you said you watched some when you were younger with, like, your mom, but this is your first real season. Laura, how many, like...
Oh, God. 27 in total? You can check it.
You've seen 27 in total?
No, God. I think that's how many seasons of The Bachelor and Bachelorette there have been.
No, when did you start watching?
4 seasons ago?
So is that like 4 shows ago or 4 like actual Bachelors ago?
I've seen 3 Bachelors.
Okay.
I think I've seen 3 Bachelors and 3 Bachelorettes.
Okay. So 3
I'm
to 4 years.
No.
Oh, right.
2, technically. 2?
Well, no, not if you've seen 3 Bachelors. That would be 3 years.
Right.
Because there's only one Bachelor.
I don't know. I've
Okay.
seen Nick and...
Nick was last Bachelor, right?
Up in my head. Anyways,
I
started watching because my roommates at the time were watching.
Mm-hmm. So that was probably your senior year.
Yeah, that was senior year.
Okay. 3 years. 2 years.
2 years.
Were you in Gosh, you were in college last year,
I don't remember. Anyways.
Which senior year?
Right. I started watching because they were, and I honestly just watched it because that's what they were doing on a Monday night. So I was like, okay, I'm either going to be in my room doing nothing or I'm going to be out here. And I just got so enthralled with the game of it all. And like how this has become a franchise that has so many seasons.
That's on all year.
And like is a cultural movement. And it was really just like because every week something would happen. And it was less about the like shock factor of the drama that was created. It was more just about how this show can do whatever the fuck it wants. And nobody questions it, and everybody loves it, and everybody loves these people, or hates these people, and it was just, like, this whole, and, like, in my mind, I do know it's, like, set up, like, this whole thing. But so, to break it down, The Bachelor started whenever.
What happens in The Bachelor, real quick? You've got a Bachelor.
So The Bachelor started, and it was a man. And I think for the first like couple years, it was just a man.
It's just The Bachelor.
Yeah.
How many women do they bring in?
I don't know about the first like seasons.
Yeah.
But right now we're talking like 30, 35.
They start off with 30 to 35 women. Okay.
And so you, go about like
walk us through like what happens in the first episode.
The first episode is meeting time. So you meet all the women. You kind of the big part of it is like they introduce themselves to the Bachelor, and so they walk up and you're supposed to differentiate yourself. So you bring him a box of his favorite chocolate, or you bring him something from your hometown.
And this is when like Molly referenced the girl with the Australian accent. They each come out of the limo.
You can
this is the limo reveal.
You can come out of a limo, or you can bring your own vehicle.
Okay. But they come in one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a big party yet.
No.
Okay.
And you differentiate yourself, whatever, and then you walk into a cocktail party and you're immediately handed an alcoholic beverage. And from then on, he meets all the girls. Behind the scenes, I'm assuming he takes a break, but in editing, we go straight into a cocktail party. And for the next however long the episode is, you have a cocktail party with all these women. He decides over that night that he has picked out one that he thinks he has a special bond with all of a sudden, and it's like love at first sight, and he gives her what's called the first impression rose, and she is safe that week, and then from then on... Now,
these roses is how everyone's safe each week, right? Okay. There are roses every week.
Women get a long stem rose, men get a boutonniere.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's pinned to them, and then the women just hold it. And then from the cocktail party, you go into the rose ceremony. And so, technically in the rules, she, the Bachelor, Bachelorette, can get rid of as many people as he wants, or as many little as he wants. So, there has been seasons where he's gotten rid of too many, or not enough. And so, it's really up to the and they can do whatever they want, and it used to be live, like, it used to be, like... a thing. So it was like this whole thing of him getting rid of too many or whatever. Now the production crew has like kind of set out that like 4 people are going home, or 6 people are going home, or whatever, and you can kind of engage. So we get rid of however many people, and then the next episode or the following episodes, there's usually at least one-on-one date.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just the Bachelor and one of the contestants.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group date
Mm-hmm.
with all of the other women who didn't get to go on a one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And on the one-on-ones, they usually go do something that, like, the contestants have to fill out a form, very intensive, like, form that says, like, interest, hobbies, fears, blah, 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 because sometimes you'll go on a date and it'll be, like, your worst fear, like, jumping on, like, going bungee jumping, or whatever, and it's like, oh my god, I'm so scared, he'll have to hold me, and it's like, this was planned, bitch. Or, like, something you never get to do before, or whatever. And so it's kind of planned, and it's planned by the producers. The guy has no...
And this is, like, each episode... This is happening? Okay. Okay, so as you can see, we dealt with a few technical difficulties here this week on Our 3 Cents. For mine and Laura's audio, GarageBand decided to delete it all instead of saving it. Luckily, we were able to recover it, but only about the first half of what we recorded, and the last half sounded like that, but for an hour. So I'm going to finish up by myself here while I'm editing the episode. Laura kept explaining The Bachelor to me. They talked about this season and this week. The highlights were Colton's a virgin and everyone's being annoying about it. There were these two mean girls and one of them went home, but not the other one. Laura doesn't care who wins. Molly likes Cassie B. If there's a Cassie or someone whose initial is a B or possibly both of those things, I think she likes that one. I could probably ask her, but I hope this will be funnier. So, sorry about this weird ending to this episode. Maybe we will revisit The Bachelor in the future because they were very excited to talk about it, and I had fun asking questions about things like the fantasy suites. You know, where they have sex with each other on TV. So thank you for listening to this episode. Let us know if you don't watch any reality television. Like, why is that? If you don't like it, you know, what's your reason there? If you do like it, what shows do you watch? Do you watch any of the ones we mentioned? Did we forget about any? And then what do you think about The Bachelor? Have you been watching it for a long time? Did you just get into it? Have you never seen an episode like me? Tell us what you think. Tell me the names of all these people that I do not know. I do not know them, and I read a lot of them, and I do not know. So thank you for listening this week. Let us know all those opinions over at our Twitter, at ourthreecentspod, or on our email, ourthreecentspod@gmail.com. If you need to know how to spell any of those, that is in the description below, along with links to our personal Twitters and our YouTube page, where you can listen there if you want to. Or just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you to Kevin MacLeod for letting us use his song Digital Lemonade as our theme song. I think that's it. So, I'm Laura, I'm Molly, and I'm Bailey. Bye!